This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, NNPC Limited gives reason for petrol price increase. Petron Chairman Francis Dingpa calls for repair of refineries. House of Representatives kicks against burning of vessels with stolen crude. Police AIG warns police personnel in Rivers State against extortion. Elder statesman Anab Saraigbe criticizes former Governor Wike for describing NDDC as cash cow. On the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa once against arrest of Russian President. I am Kalada Kurubatubo. Good evening. The Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has attributed the increase in the price of petrol to market forces. Mr. Kyari said this shortly after meeting with the Vice President today. Mr. Kyari refuted reports that the increase was due to shortage in petrol supply.
What I know is that the market forces will regulate the market. Prices will go down sometimes it will go up, but there will be stability of supply, and I'm also assuring Nigerians that this is the best way to go forward so that we can adjust prices when market goes. I don't have the details this moment, but I know that our marketing wing acts just like every other company in this business. I know that a number of companies have imported petroleum products today, PMS. So many of them are online. I'm sure my colleague will confirm this. So market forces have started to play. People have started having confidence in the market, and the private sector people are now importing products. But there's no way they can recover their costs if they cannot take market reflective costs.
In a related development, the chairman of Petroleum Product Retail Outfits Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, Francis Dingpa, believes that the cost of petroleum products in Nigeria will be stable when the refineries are fixed. Mr. Dingpa said this during an interview with correspondent Suibi Uruwari. The Petron chairman, however, added that the recent increase may not last long.
Nigeria will continue to raise the refineries and the countries will work. For the countries do not work, we will be subject to the new cybersecurity and international threats. I agree with him that it will also lead to falling prices. So that the fact is that the prices will not be stable. So we and the rest here are in agreement with the refineries in the country to find a solution to this situation.
Mr. Dingpa attributed the recent rise in the price of petrol to the foreign exchange rate.
We are not totally aware of what is responsible. What we are aware of is that there is a change and there is an increase. But whatever thing that would have caused the increase will not be too far from the rising foreign exchange. It may not be unconnected with the foreign exchange.
Some Port Harcourt residents also expressed disappointment at petrol price hike.
With this, I don't know what federal put place for the mass back to. So removing subsidy at the long run, even the 300 naira that is already making from the removal of the subsidy is still not enough for him. You understand? Because there is no way on the planet Earth that this thing has been removed, and the masses are suffering. You understand? The masses are suffering. The people who are taking salaries, who are transporting themselves every morning, who are they are the ones that are suffering all these issues. So they should look.
Fuel 617 naira. How much you want use and carry? Who you want carry?
Our correspondent who visited some petrol stations in Port Harcourt or in the Port Harcourt town access reports that many stations have adjusted to the new pump price of 591, while others are selling between 591 to 615 naira. In the meantime, the House of Representatives has asked security agencies to stop burning vessels with stolen crude. The lawmakers' call comes after a resolution by the member Udwak Odudo from Akwa Ibom State. The lawmakers also pledged to probe the circumstances surrounding the recent burning of stolen oil vessels in parts of Niger Delta states. Moving on, the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 16, Benjamin Okolo, has warned police officers in Rivers State against extortion at checkpoints. AIG Okolo issued the warning when he met personnel of the Rivers State Police Command at the officers' mess in Port Harcourt. AIG Okolo also urged police officers to work in synergy with other security agencies in the fight against crime.
Acts of harassment, being overzealous, intimidation, incivility to members of the public, to mention a few, will not be tolerated moving forward. We need to be mindful of the usefulness and effectiveness of our checkpoints. We will ensure that those checkpoints are not for extortion purposes. The essence of checkpoints and choke points are there to help us combat crime.
AIG Okolo also urged police officers to uphold justice and fairness in the discharge of their duties. He also assured police officers of the IGP's commitment to improving their welfare.
Our values are to do the right thing. We may have one or two people that are sworn that Nigeria Police Force will always be portrayed in bad light. We will not allow that. The IG is working hard to enhance police training curriculum with special focus on attitudinal and behavioral changes. In all, our performance will be judged equally the way we behave. If you are effective and you are not doing well,
CPM Maker also spoke on the challenge to command.
Command is always with a lot of challenges, but not limited to these. Shortage of arms and ammunition, armored personnel carriers, APC, insufficient number of gun boats and marine police equipment, inadequate numbers of patrol vehicles, shortage of barrack accommodation for officers and men of the command. May I respectfully plead with you, sir, to kindly look into some of our challenges facing the command.
Human rights lawyer Henry Ekine says the decision of the sacked staff of Ignatius Ajuri University of Education to seek redress in court was personal. Ms. Ekine said this on Nigeria Info's Morning Crossfire today. The legal practitioner said the state government should have been specific with the investigations instead of a total cancellation of the entire staff badge employment.
Every single employee in an organization has a separate contract. So the same way, if you're disengaged or dismissed or in any way unlawfully terminated, that contract terminated, the cause of action is also personal. The injury is personal. So an individual, so perhaps some of those individuals who are victims may have approached the civil society organization or even some lawyers. So even if we've got this statement that some have also said they haven't spoken for everybody. Whoever has said, no, we're not going to seek redress against the university or against the government, is also speaking on a personal basis.
Also speaking, the coordinator of Defense for Human Rights and Democracy, Solomon Clifford, reiterated that his group is collaborating with the affected staff members of the university to sue the River State government. He said they would not bow to any external pressure from people to go back on their words.
These are speculation that is already there in the public domain, but a name was not mentioned. They did not refer to Sharubi to be the one they are carrying. So it's affected. These are politicians and they employ every means towards every positive effort. They can just bribe on persons and issue a kangaroo statement and we are, morality. So it means that we drag the River State government to court.
Mr. Clifford's comment is in reaction to the statement signed by some affected staff of the university distancing themselves from the decision of the civil society organization to take legal action against the state government and the university. The statement from the affected staff said the action of the River State government is for the good of the university and they have accepted it in good faith. An elder statesman, Anab Saraigbe, has criticized former Governor Nyesom Wike for describing the NDDC as a cash cow. Sarah Igbe, in an interview, said he expected the former governor to advise his successor to partner with the NDDC to provide affordable healthcare centers, schools, potable water in the rural communities and not road projects.
What I expect the former government to do is to advise his successor to partner with NDDC, bring part of the 30% derivation to the bigger fund of NDDC, and ensure that the oil-bearing communities are not suffering. That ensure that there are schools in the oil-bearing communities. Teachers are there because most of the schools have no teachers. Most of the communities in the riverine area suffers a lot for health center, no hospital, no drugs. These are the things I expect a former governor to advise, because I can tell you the Niger Delta people are suffering.
Sarah Igbe also urged the former governor to allow Governor Siminalayi Fubara to make decisions as a governor.
It should allow Sim to operate as a governor. Wike still operate as if he's the governor of Rivers State. He's not the governor of Rivers State anymore. Sim is the governor of Rivers State. Whether we like it or not, Wike was a former governor. Let Sim play his role. Let Sim do his work. Let Sim get his glory or his cause. Nobody should interfere. Enough of Wike. He's a governor, former governor. He should retire.
Recall that former Governor Nyesom Wike had called on the NDDC to support the state government by funding a part of the construction of the Port Harcourt Ring Road. Still to come, NBC begins upward review of license fee for broadcast stations. Stay tuned as we go for a quick commercial break.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.
And now the rest of the news. President Bola Tinubu today met with the President of Benin Republic, Patrice Talon, Mohamed Bazoum of Niger Republic, and Guinea-Bissau's Umaru Sissoko Embalo at the Presidential Villa Abuja. The presidents of the three African countries came separately and were received at the forecourt by the Brigade of Guards before they proceeded to President Tinubu's office. The presidents are expected to discuss issues around economies, among other issues. The National Broadcasting Commission says it will review upward the fee for licensed broadcast stations. The NBC Director General Balarabe Ilela said at the press conference in Lagos today. The NBC DG said the Commission has finalized arrangements to commence consultation with stakeholders for the upward review of the licenses to reflect the current economic realities.
If there is any sector that is very affected, most especially if there is any sector that cannot live from buying this every day, that sector is the broadcast sector. So with the passion, left, right, and center economy, I really want to do the DJBC. So it's that we should increase the view of the less now.
Responding to the Executive Secretary of the Organization of Ms. Gbangbo said, urged DDC to link the up review. Gbangbo said that because Nigeria is faced by the present economic reality in Nigeria. In this economy, is quite to set measures for carbon in the country. Dr. said in an interview that responded reacted to the report of Nigeria statistics. The nation's inflation rate to 20.9%.
Inflation. They even deal with this area. They need to boost supply of food, and they also need to reduce the cost of production. These are the things they need to do that will be able to set the economy right.
Recall that the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics revealed that the inflation rate in Nigeria soared to a staggering 22.79% in June, marking a substantial increase from the inflation rate of 22.41% recorded in the previous month of May. In entertainment, Senegalese-American music star Akon has described Nigerians as the smartest people on earth. In a new interview, the music star said Nigeria is similar to New York City. Akon also shared stories about his early life in America, getting into car stealing and becoming a music star. In sports, Manchester United have agreed a £47.2 million deal for Inter Milan goalkeeper Andre Onana. United will pay £43.8 million upfront for the Cameroon player, with an additional £3.4 million in add-ons.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
On the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has warned that arresting Russian leader Vladimir Putin would amount to a declaration of war on Russia. President Cyril Ramaphosa wrote in court papers released today as his country wrangles over hosting the Russian leader. Putin has been invited to a BRICS summit in Johannesburg next month, but he is the target of an International Criminal Court arrest warrant, a provision that South Africa, as an ICC member, would be expected to implement when he attends. On the news this evening, you heard NNPCL Chief Executive Mele Kyari attributed the recent rise in the price of petrol to market forces. Petron Chairman Francis Dingpa believes that the repair of the nation's refineries will solve the problem of pricing in the sector. The House of Representatives has kicked against burning of vessels with stolen crude. Police AIG Benjamin Okolo has warned police personnel in Rivers State against extortion. Elder statesman Anabsara Igbe is criticizing former Governor Nyesom Wike for describing the NDDC as a cash cow. On the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has warned against arresting Russian President Vladimir Putin. The news was edited by Onyekachi Wonsu. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this evening. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Kala Dakuru Batbo. Good evening. Just stay tuned.